You guys, this is my nephew Wyatt. Wyatt, do you want to tell him where we are?
We're in Denver.
We are in Denver for the night on our way to Moab, Utah for our family vacation. Can you see the mountains behind us? They're kind of hard to see in the camera. We have a beautiful view. We're very excited about it, aren't we, Wyatt?
Yeah.
He specifically requested the sleeper sofa in our room because it had the view of the mountains. So we'll see you guys probably tomorrow when we drive through the mountains, right? Oh, look at these mountains behind me. It's so beautiful. You guys, look at this awesome plant. We don't have stuff like this where I live. Our first morning in Moab, we got up and drove to the Island in the Sky section of Canyonlands National Park so that we could see the sunrise at the Mesa Arch. You guys, this was so beautiful in person. My video does not do it justice, but I loved seeing how the arch lit up in the sunlight. And here you're going to see a lot of views from Canyonlands. It was just so beautiful. Things I'd never seen before, and I just was trying to document it all. So I hope you'll enjoy this little bit here at Canyonlands National Park. Y'all, Canyonlands is amazing. So much of the beautiful stuff we got to see, we saw from the car. So I'm sorry for the reflection in the windows, but I still wanted to share because it's beautiful. The second day, we did a float trip down the Colorado. And you guys, it was so beautiful. We saw so many amazing things, but also things like this, a set from Kevin Costner's Horizon. This rock is where Bon Jovi filmed a music video for Young Guns 2. Johnny Depp used to own this house. Just interesting things all around. Next, we were off to Salt Lake City and Park City for a few days. And one of the most important things we needed to do was...
We are at the High School Musical School in Utah. Salt Lake City.
One of the things we did in Salt Lake City was go to the Clark Planetarium. This is a free planetarium. It reminds me a lot of the Science Center in St. Louis. We had a lot of fun just enjoying the interactive exhibits here, just kind of goofing off and enjoying things. This meteorite is so cool.
Do what, jump?
Oh, there's your earthquake, Y.
I did not do very much. You can lift it, turn it, and move it in and out.
That's cool. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The planetarium was only about half a mile away from the Tabernacle Square where the Mormon Tabernacle is, and so we decided to walk. We got to see some neat things on our walk. The Tabernacle had some beautiful buildings, but the thing that caught my attention the most was all of the gardens. So I took quite a few little video clips here of the gardens at the Mormon Tabernacle Square. I will say it has me sort of thinking. I always thought some of the plants don't do well here where I live in Alabama just based on the heat, but some of these plants are thriving and it's even hotter in Salt Lake. I think it must be because of the humidity where I live. But isn't it beautiful? On to Park City, where we were staying. It's so fascinating to me. Park City is only about 36 minutes away from Salt Lake City, but you go up an elevation of about 3,000 feet. And so it was a beautiful drive through here. We really enjoyed Park City. It was also cooler up there. One of the highlights of Park City for us was look at this. The place we stayed had personal birthday cards for my niece and nephew, and they had balloons and a beautiful birthday cake for them. Just so thoughtful. We couldn't go to Salt Lake City and Park City without seeing some of the 2002 Olympic events and locations. This is the flame. I was really touched seeing all of the stuff about how they honored the 9/11 tragedy. That was a long time ago and I did not remember, but I just thought it was so nice. We need to take a moment for some wildlife. We were eating lunch outside at the place we were staying, and there were some friendly little squirrels who came to hang out, and they were just too cute. So we have to include them.
About being like right up on us.
Oh, hello, sir.
Look at him on his hind legs.
I don't know about you being on my shoe.
Oh, I wouldn't care. Hi, baby. Hi, sweet baby.
After lunch, we headed to the Utah Olympic Park in Park City. This place was really neat. They had some free museums you could go in, and we just really enjoyed our time. It was also really interesting learning that Salt Lake area, it has really wonderful powdery snow for skiing and snowboarding and stuff because of the Salt Lake and the warm water and how that affects the way the snow forms. These are all awards won by one skier named Alf Eggen. One of the coolest things at the Olympic Park was getting to sit and watch these freestyle skiers practice into this pool. It's really neat. There is a bubbler system in the pool that makes the water softer for when they land. So we just really enjoyed this. We sat here for probably half an hour. That evening, we took a drive down Main Street in downtown Park City. We didn't really have time to get out and explore, but we are all in agreement that we would really like to come back here and visit and get to spend more time. If you're unfamiliar, Park City is pretty famous because it's home of the Sundance Film Festival, but it is an old mining town, and you can really see in the architecture and just the way this town is built that it's like an old West town, and it just would be really neat to come through and explore. One of the things I found really interesting here, I've never seen it anywhere else. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist anywhere else, is that they have these deck areas built in parking spots, and the restaurants use them for service. So people just are sitting out there having their meals, they can people watch, and it expands how many customers the restaurants can accommodate, which I think is really neat. So we are definitely going to have to visit Park City again, but this was a fun little drive we took.
You guys, I had to come out here on the balcony this morning. It's so beautiful. See if we can get a shot back there. But it is 47 degrees outside right now in Park City, Utah. We're headed back to Moab this morning, where it's currently 71 degrees. And at home in Alabama, it's 75 degrees. So it's the second week of July, I think. 47 degrees in the morning. I can't believe it. I am in tank tops and shorts at the moment. Not necessarily appropriate clothing for this weather, but it's kind of a nice reprieve from what we're used to.
We had a bit of a lazy afternoon after driving back to Moab, but then we got in the car after dinner and headed up to Arches National Park. I did not realize that Arches is up really high. There's only one road in and out of Arches for the public, and it's because they basically had to put the road where they could find a place to put it. But it's just so majestic when you drive through it. I feel like even on the camera, it doesn't fully capture what it feels like to be driving through these massive red rocks. But just so beautiful and awe inspiring. And we got some beautiful views on this night with the sunset. We got to go stargazing, which was something my nephew was very excited about. And so just a beautiful evening spent in nature. I don't know how well it comes through, but the sky was pretty hazy on this evening. And while we were up here in Arches, every single one of us had the emergency warning go off on our phones. And it turned out, we learned days later, there was a wildfire that had sparked the day before, about 45 minutes away from Arches. And that's where all of the smoke was coming from. But here you can see the beautiful sunset we got and all of these beautiful rock formations. I just really don't have words. I feel like I said the word beautiful over and over and over again, but it really is just a wonder. All of the different things that you can see in this part of the world. I have learned that one of the things I love most in this big open space is how you can see the storm clouds. Here we are looking at the delicate arch. It's kind of small here, but this is basically the symbol of Utah. It's on a lot of their artwork and on their license plates. I took a 2-hour time lapse of the stars. My nephew and I were just laying on a sidewalk looking up, and it was so beautiful. You could see so many stars. We spent our last afternoon wandering around downtown Moab. I didn't take any footage of that, but we spent the evening at Dead Horse Point State Park. You guys, this place was so beautiful. The sunset was stunning. Being able to see the river just winding back and forth in these canyons was just magnificent. And look at this sunset. Just what a spectacular way to end our trip together as a family. The next day, we said goodbye to my brother's family, and my mom and I headed south because we were staying in Taos, New Mexico for a couple of days. But about an hour south of Moab, we saw signs for the Needle section of Canyonlands National Park, and we thought, let's go. We did not fully appreciate that we were inadvertently adding 3 hours to our 6 hour drive, but it was worth it because look at this beautiful scenery we got to see. And I don't know when we'll ever be back to this part of the country again. So I'm really glad that we did it.
This to me looks like somewhere they did some of those car ads.
Well, did you hear, we never watched it, but I am at the Needle section of Canyonlands National Park, and we're at a place called Pothole Point, and you can see why. All of these are little potholes that when they get the monsoon rains will fill with water. Here's a good view of why this is called the potholes. Y'all, this is just so beautiful and mind-blowing to me. All that exists in nature here in the Southwest.
Once we got into New Mexico, I have to tell you guys, I was shocked. I had no idea that there were parts of New Mexico that looked like this, so lush and green with this forest and the beautiful green mountains. So I needed some documentation just for my own memory's sake. But isn't it beautiful? I just really enjoyed this drive on this day. It was so pretty. Once we got closer to Taos, you can see here, this was a bit more what I was expecting. And the mountains in the distance, they're so beautiful. You can see there's a rain cloud. It actually had rained in Taos that day, and so it was a lot cooler. And we just kind of had the whole gamut of landscape and topography and weather on this trip. It was just a really neat experience.
So you guys, I have always loved the idea of earthships. I remember watching a documentary about it years ago, and I just thought they were so cool. And I had no idea that we were actually going to get to see some here in Taos, New Mexico. And I've taken a few video clips that I can share, but isn't it just so neat? Up here, it says warning, official U.S. sustainable test site, 2 acres, and they're actually working on building these. How neat. They're actually filling the tires up here. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in and we can see. Very cool. This is very cool. But the earth ships here, very neat. We'll get the Earthship from a different angle. And up here, this thing that looks sculptural, it's actually part of their wind power generation. It's one of their turbines. We'll get a bit of a closer look. I love that it is sculptural and artistic and also functional.
Used automotive tires, plastic and glass bottles, laminate steel cans, molding strap plastic. Fig trees are a staple in the Earthship greenhouse. They are self-fertile, highly productive, low maintenance, and are vigorous at cleaning gray water and providing shade with their spreading canopy. Almost all the greenhouses here at least have one fig tree. There is also a citronella plant growing behind this tree, which helps to deter pests. The fig tree won't get that big because it'll die back.
Yeah, I think so. Food growing bucket.
This almost looks like
It's got kale, mint, and marigolds in it.
kale.
Thai basil. Oh, there's a hummingbird in here.
Oh, sure enough.
Oh, he got stuck, I guess.
He's stuck.
I don't know. He looks like he's
trying to get loose from a web.
The greenhouse aspect is one of my favorite things about Earthships, but I'm about to show you a sign in a minute that's talking about the gray and the black water. And one of the things that's so fascinating about these Earthships is that they recycle the water 4 times. The gray water from the Earthship actually is used to water the greenhouse section, and then that gray water gets used for flushing toilets. The water then goes outside and it's used for irrigating any outside planting. So they really are doing their best to make use of every bit of water they have, which is so important in a place like Taos where there is very little rainfall in a year.
Oh, that's cool. Solar dehydrator. This fig has figs on it, look.
They had a screening room here in the Earthship where you could see into different Earthships. You know, you could see how they were decorated. You could see how they built the showers and various things. And I just love how artistic they are, but also how they really are trying to utilize all kinds of things that most of us think of as trash. They're using tires and wine bottles and soda cans to build these structures. And I just think it's very cool and a great way to try and be sustainable.
It's a pretty bathroom.
Here they're showing all of their demonstrations they've done around the world, but they have also built Earthships in places like Haiti where they've built sustainable schools and storm shelters, and I just think it's incredible.
So here's the solar panels, and then this entire roof is designed to capture water. So there's all of these places for it to run off and down, and this gutter here runs down in there and it runs into a cistern that uses the water for the Earthship. Wine bottles in the walls. That cool Earthship with all that greenery in there. Soda cans in this wall. All about the recycling. Oh, and look at the tires. So this is the visitor center. But as we go this way, It says we are looking at the world's largest off-grid subdivision, and it's a whole bunch of earthships built out here. This is a building site that is experimental. The New Mexico legislature has approved it, and they can build without code to experiment. And apparently there is a documentary called Garbage Warrior that documents the process of building this. I'm gonna have to look it up because it's so neat. There's Mom sitting under a tree taking a rest. Bottle brick wall. And you can see all that greenery inside the earthship. They opened up all the windows to try and let that hummingbird we saw earlier out. But it's just so neat. You guys, we found the spot. We're at the visitor center for the Rio Grande Gorge in Taos. North? Yeah, I think it's north. We're sitting here eating organic strawberry pineapple snow cones, and we have the most amazing view. I'm gonna turn y'all around. So we're in this nice shade structure with a picnic table, eating our snow cones, looking at this beautiful view.
This gorge is really a sight to behold. It just kind of blows my mind to think about the fact that the river has carved this rock in such a way, especially here in a minute when you get to see the river because it's so small right now. I'm guessing that's at least in part because of the time of year. It's July, there's not a whole lot of rain, but that tiny little river carved this huge gorge over time is just amazing to me. We couldn't come to Taos without looking at some artwork, in this case, pottery. And this place was within walking distance of where we were staying, so we definitely had to check it out.
This pottery is just so beautiful. I love these bowls. This fluted edge is so pretty. Oh, look at the snake. He's neat. I love this kitty planter over here. The moon. Some fish and lizards.
Once we left New Mexico, it was mainly a bunch of driving, so I thought I would include this little animation here that shows you all the driving we did on this trip. We did stop in Oklahoma and have dinner with my aunt and my uncles and my cousin, and that was really nice. We were really happy we got to do that, but we're so happy to be home with our kitty cats and to our garden. You'll see here in just a second behind me, we've been picking a lot since we got home, and it was a great trip, but there really is no place like home.